Hand and arm signals, speaking with total silence. Hand and arm signals are absolutely essential whenever you're trying to navigate as a small team through. I've used them in almost every environment, even urban environments. I've used them with, I'm in one stack and I'm trying to talk to the guy, the team commander of my secondary stack, my Bravo team, on the other side of the street there, and just yelling over the vehicles was retarded. So I just looked at him, hey, what am I just telling them? Hey, you look behind you. Watch your back. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of hand and arm signals, and you can start to implement this if you want to, but honestly, what it's going to boil down to is you're going to kind of create your own little sign language amongst your teammates. Just as long as when you are working with a larger group that they are all on the same sheet of music as you, and you have a universal sign language that you guys can use, you'll be gold. And I'll show you what the military does. I've already showed you one. You look behind you. That tells me, crap, something's coming up behind me, right? I made to turn around and see what the crap he sees that I don't. All right, well, how about another one? Come follow me. Let's go, move out. All right, nice open hand, forward motion. Another thing, guys, I was doing this wrong because I should never use my trigger finger, my trigger hand to do that. I should always use my non-dominant hand, so that way I can always engage with my rifle quickly if I need to. So come follow me. Slow to a stop. Just kind of slow down and stop for a minute. That is freeze. So if you see that, that means literally freeze in position. Do not freaking move a muscle. Something is danger close. We just walk right up on top of something. Now, give you a little side note. It's not in the rest of the lesson plan. When you stop, if you've been stationary for 30 seconds, you automatically take a knee. When you have been stationary for 1 minute, you lay down in a prone position. That gives you the best chance of being camouflaged and having concealment so that your team is not compromised. It also helps you relax your legs for a few minutes because you've probably been walking for a hot minute. It's as simple as this. If you're stagnant for a while like this and you've been walking for a minute, you're going to move around. When you move around, you make noise, right? But if you take a knee, you're a little bit more stationary. And when you lay down, you're completely off your legs and you move less. Another thing, a little side note, we got a lot of rain last night. You're probably not hearing me. I'm jumping up and down on top of leaves. Why are you not hearing me? Because of the rain. Because the ground is wet. This is the prime time to be maneuvering in the woods because you're not emitting any sound. But keep that in mind. If you're not emitting any sound, it means any enemy force in the woods, they're not emitting any sound either. That's why that freeze is so important, because you literally can walk right up on top of somebody. That being said, one of the little things that I learned when I went through some snipers and stalking training was if you run up on something like that, you literally freeze in place. Don't drop to the ground because you're going to make a big pile of noise. And that sudden movement is going to attract the human eye. Just freeze in place. And then slowly start moving down to your knee. Very slow and smooth. Go down. That attracts less attention of the human eye. And you're already wearing camouflage if you're in the brush like this, or at least some kind of darker clothing that would semi-blend in. So if you just simply freeze in place, they're not going to pick you up as quickly as they would if you just drop, and you're going to make almost no noise compared to dropping straight on the ground on a pile of leaves, and what you're going to hear is in the woods. You're like, what the crap was that? All right, let's move on. This is your senior team leader. So usually a lieutenant for us, this would be your team leader. This would be your senior NCO, your second command for that element. So if I say, that's telling me, hey, get the lieutenant's attention and tell him to get his butt up here. He needs to see this. So if my point man way up here turns around and does this, everybody behind him turns around to the next guy And they do that all the way down the line until he gets to the lieutenant, and the lieutenant sees the guy just in front of him go, oh, they're wanting me at the front. Okay. So he gets up and walks up there. Same thing with the collar tug. Send me to second command. Get his butt up here. Because the lieutenant may go up here, put eyes on an objective. He sees he's got an op score. There's an enemy force, and be like, I don't know about this, guys. Hey, freaking send me my second command so I can get a second opinion real fast. All right. This. Radio man. So, LT calls for radio man. He sends back, send me my radio man up here. I need him right now. Danger area. So you come up onto a danger area. When you do like this, coming across your chest, that tells everybody you are getting ready to enter a major danger area. There's a danger area here. And so your group of signals for that may be like this. Turn around. My point man just said, there's a danger area up there. Send a lieutenant up here now so he can put eyes on. Another one. That means take a knee. Just slowly right down to a knee. Whenever you move like that, move slow and smooth. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Okay? Always move slow and smooth. Now this means lay the crap down. So you may already be on a knee, and you start seeing the guy beside you doing like this, and that's because somebody's telling you, you need to lay down. Just go and lay down. And that could be for a variety of reasons. Another one. That tells you you need to listen. There's a noise over that direction. Audible contact that way. Visual contact that way. Whatever it may be. Head count. I need to know how many guys are here. You'll see the LT every now and again, or your NCO, he'll stop and be like, and what that means is they'll look all the way to the back of the line, and one will go, next guy, third guy, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 1-0, all the way up the line. That is aeronautical sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 0. And you can, of course, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, etc., all the way up. So that way your commander can get an accurate head count of how many bodies he still has living, breathing, and kicking and ready to fight. Two other signs. If you're transitioning from one area to another. Let's say you're transitioning from the woods to a field. So if you're walking along and you see this, that means wedge. Wedge it out. You're going to start transitioning into a wedge because you've now gone from the woods into an open field. All right, so if you're going from an open field into the woods, you're going to go back down and class back down into a ranger file. You're going to see this. That means that ranger file collapse back down into a ranger file. You should be able to do all that movement without even making a freaking sound. All right? Also, this right here is 360 security. You want to look 360. That should be a natural instinct of everybody, though. You shouldn't have to tell your men that. When you stop, they should automatically transition, caddy corner, back to back, and freaking pull up that 360 security. If they're not doing that, you need to, as you as the team commander, need to go down there and freaking correct them immediately. Now, this means rally point. I have just designated this, that tree right there, as a rally point. Now, we also talked about CCP points, casualty collection points. You can't have rally points as fallback casualty collection points. So, we got a rally point, say 500 yards back there in the brush, right? And that'd be about right. About every 5 to 1,000 yards, you're going to want to designate a new rally point every time. So let's say, and it needs to be something that's pretty obvious. An area like this, it would be pretty obvious that, okay, this has got to be the right rally point. And you find an old dead tree, a dead witch's tree or something, and boom, that's my rally point, right? So you've designated this as a rally point. We push forward another, 500-600 yards and we get ambushed. We get hit. When everybody's broke contact, we've had to push back, we're in retreat, where do you think they're going to come? They're going to come right to this rally point. They're going to drag their wounded here. They're going to do whatever they can to get them and whoever's left, wounded or non-wounded, back to this location. You're going to regroup, and then you're going to Charlie Mike and try to get the hell out of that area before that force pushes onto you. So that rally point is very important. So is the 360. But notice the difference. Look, I never point down. As soon as you point down at an object, they recognize that as a rally point. All right, that's all of our hand and arm signals. I'm sure you guys probably come up with a few more on your own, and feel free to implement all this that you want. And you can probably Google and find a few more out there that I haven't covered.